I'm gonna be real because why not, right? So had some problems with some of these projects, and so now I've got to try to fix them. You're gonna see some videos here that overlap a little bit. So I put a number of pieces in the kiln at the same time. They got a little close to each other and touched, and now I've got some repairs to do. So I thought, why not show you what that process is going to look like for me. So on this piece, it was touching another one. I managed to break it fairly cleanly. So the way I'm gonna fix this is to do just a little bit of cold working. I'm just gonna take this to the grinder and kind of fix this just a little bit and refire it. Hopefully get a nice clean finish to this, and then this piece is done. So that's how I intend to fix this one. I will show you that fix, hopefully a successful fix on that. On this piece, same thing, was touching. This piece is gorgeous and I'm just so disappointed. Took a pretty big chunk out of here. It was touching the other piece. I tried to score it and break it. It didn't break cleanly. So I've chopped those off. I ended up basically with 2 chunks here. To fix this one, I'm gonna do a little cold working and kind of clean up this edge right here. And then I'm going to glue these other 2 fragments back in, put a little clear powder on it and fire it and hope that it heals. I may even put something up there against it to kind of create a little barrier. On this piece, it had spots both here and here where it connected to its partners, but generally the integrity of it looks okay and it's relatively unscathed. So I'm going to clean up these 2 pieces, or these 2 corners on the grinder, take off some of that extra, do a full fuse on this, and hopefully get that back to normal. And then this final piece also touched and got a bad break when I tried to separate them. So I'm gonna take the grinder to that to try to square that off. Here's the chunk, the corner piece that I'm going to, same thing, kind of glue on and try to hope that it heals relatively decently in the fuse. If it doesn't, then I'll figure out something else to do with this glass later, but that's how I'm gonna try to heal all of these. Again, I might put a little dam or something there to kind of contain that. I'll glue it on, but I may also do something to try to contain it in the fuse, and hopefully it fuses cleanly. Real bummer on these, but let's see if we can fix them together. So what I've done was I took a little bit of Elmer's glue, just good old-fashioned white Elmer's glue, and glued the corner back on here. This was one piece that I glued back on. It dried nice overnight, and because this piece was connected to another one, this corner kind of got drawn out where they connected. And so I just also took this to the grinder and very gently and very carefully took a little bit of material off the corner to try to get me to the normal shape again. I fully recognize that I've got a little bit of a gap right here, and that might be accentuated when I fuse. I debated, do I dam this? Do I put a piece here with fiber paper and kind of dam this in? And what may be the wrong decision, but I've decided not to. I'm just gonna move forward with the fuse. Part of it's impatience, part of it just wants to move on and be done with this project. If I dam it and put fiber paper, I have to fire it yet again to kind of fire polish the thing. That would be a number of times into the kiln, and I'm just kind of done with it. So I'm gonna go into the kiln as is. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. It needs to be cleaned up, but I'm gonna clean it up, and then I am gonna dust some clear powder over this just to try to get this to seal the best I can. You're gonna be able to see that crack, I'm convinced of it. But if I put a little clear powder and kind of clean the whole thing up a little bit, maybe you won't be able to see it too much. So that's that piece. A little bit of the same story here. This corner ended up coming off and cleaved off and was attached to another piece. I cut it off the other piece. When I did though, it actually split in 2. So this is actually 2 pieces that I pieced back together, glued on with Elmer's glue. Same thing, in fact, this one was even more pronounced. I had to take some material off to try to get me back to the shape that I would want. So kind of the same story. There's a little bit of a gap here. I'm kind of hoping and praying and crossing my fingers that this smooths out nicely. Maybe you won't be able to see the crack that much in this color versus the prior one. There's no pattern right there like there is on the other one. I'll clean it up, put some clear powder on it, and full fire this again. So I'll go into the kiln and show you what those look like. I will show you, hang on, let me grab these other two pieces. This is one of the pieces that ended up attached to one of these. So what I did on this one, it was easier. I just took the grinder to the edge and kind of cleaned up the edge where I had the, where it had connected. I didn't have any material missing. I'll be damned if I can't even figure out which edge it was. So I guess that repair worked fairly well. Going back into the kiln yet a third time, I think, I'm a little disappointed. You could probably see this edge distorted more than I would have wanted. So now I've got kind of this Gumby looking corner that comes out here. It distorted a little bit more down here as well, but it's not quite as noticeable as it is here. Same thing, I want to move on and be done with this project, so I think I'm going to go ahead and slump it and just sell it as an artist second, if you will, or maybe it'll stay in my own collection. So that's that. And then here is the other blue piece. So unlike this one where there was a big chunk taken out, this one was one that actually had the orphan attached to it. And so same thing, I just cleaned up the edge, ground it. Looking at this one, I can't tell where the edge was either. So I guess I'm relatively pleased with the fix on this. I've saved the piece. I'll slump this and it'll be fine. I just don't know that I'll be able to sell them as a pair with this one having the damage on it. But in terms of a fix, this one was easier because I just ground the edge down and refired. Same on the last piece I just showed you. These two are the ones that are going to be a little tougher to repair. We'll go into the kiln. I'll show you what they look like. Oh, glory, glory. I am so delighted to share this video today because I was so excited when I opened the kiln and found that my repairs were fantastic. I did dust them with clear powder pretty liberally and then fired them to a full fuse, same schedule I've been using on all of these full fuses. And I am telling you, if I didn't know that that was there, you wouldn't be able to find it. I mean, the crack is hardly detectable at all. Now you can see it from the underside a little bit better in the Tecta. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. But on the top side, you cannot tell. I am gonna slump this thing and I'm gonna be delighted. So I'm feeling your positive vibes and your good chi paid off. Same here. This is that corner. Now it's a little bulbous here on the end, just a slight bit. And there's a little bit of extra clear there I need to knock off with maybe a diamond pad. But same thing, there were two chips in here. I can very, very lightly detect the cracks, and that's only because I know to look for them. If I just held this up, I really can't even see. This one you can really kind of barely see underneath. So again, delighted with the repair on this. For me, the Elmer's glue worked. It kept it in place. Putting a fair amount of clear powder and doing a full fuse worked. So I am going to slump these and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Woohoo! Fist pump! Okay. I'm going to show you the pieces as they come out of the kiln. These were 2 of the 4 that were stuck together, and you know, one of these had a broken corner, and I'm very pleased with the repair. All look good on these. Salvaged them, thank goodness. Here's this piece that also had a chunk taken out of the corner. Unless you know to look for it, you can hardly even see that. So I'm very pleased with the way this one turned out. Okay, and here's the finished puddle piece. I'm pleased with the way this turned out. Nice, shallow slump in a mold. Glad I was able to save this one.